Hello everyone, Sean Porter here, Director from Porter's John Dean Estate Agents. I wanted to jump on and do a quick update video, and this actually comes on the back of a bit of a Q&A session I recently had with a few of our landlord clients. And one question that kept coming up was around rent repayment orders, sometimes called rent rebates, and how they're changing under the Renters' Rights Act coming in on the 1st of May 2026. So I thought this was worth addressing it properly, because it's one of those areas that's starting to get a bit more attention, especially in the press, and understandably so, actually. So what is a rent repayment order? Well, in simple terms, a rent repayment order means a tenant can apply to have some, or indeed potentially quite a lot of their rent paid back to them if a landlord hasn't complied with certain legal requirements. Now, historically, this has been quite limited and not something we saw in all the time. We haven't actually probably seen this for a good 10 years plus. But under the new legislation coming in from May the 1st under the Renters' Rights Act, this is being expanded. So what's actually changing? The big shift is really around how much can be claimed and how easily it can be used. So for example, tenants could potentially claim back up to 24 months rent, and this is increased from 12 months previously. And the range of situations where a claim can be made is also increasing. The process itself is being made more accessible through tribunals. So this isn't just a risk in theory anymore, it's something that will be used more frequently going forward. So let's have a quick example. This is where it gets real. Let's say, for example, a landlord hasn't correctly licensed a property where a license is indeed required, which we do still see from time to time, particularly with self-managing landlords. And if you think Wandsworth, Lambeth, Southwark and Merton are all cracking down on this. So if a tenant brings a successful claim, they could be awarded a significant portion of their rent back, potentially many tens of thousands of pounds. Now, it's not always the full amount, and tribunals will look at the circumstances. But you can see just how quickly this becomes a really serious financial issue. Reassurance for our managed landlords. Now, just to reassure all of our existing managed clients, this is exactly the sort of thing we stay on top of for you. So whether it's licensing, compliance, documentation, and that means keeping it safe and stored correctly for up to 6 years and having it accessible. We also keep up with all the legislation changes. This is part of what we do day in, day out. So from our clients, our fully managed clients, and your perspective, it's really about having that peace of mind that everything is being handled properly and also professionally. A message to self-managing landlords out there, for those of you who might be watching and managing properties yourself. This is where I just offer a bit of a word of caution. The legislation is becoming more complex. You'll see in the press, it's becoming more tenant-driven, and in some cases, more punitive if things aren't done correctly. It's not always the obvious things. Sometimes it's technical compliance, issues that can trigger these types of claims. Why is this coming in? Just to give it a bit of context. The government's intention here is to raise standards across the private rental sector. You'll often see this referred to as the PRS, and give tenants more protection. And whether we agree with all aspects of it or not, the reality is it is coming. It's literally days away on the 1st of May, and it does need to be taken seriously. Bringing it back to Porter's John Dean. Porter's John Dean estate agents, we've been doing this for over 40 years as an independent family-run business. One of the big advantages of that is consistency. We've got a team that's been here a long time. We know the local market inside out, and we've guided landlords through multiple waves of legislation changes over the years. And this is just the next one. So, if you've got any questions around this, whether you're an existing client or you just want a bit of advice, feel free to reach out. We're always happy to have a conversation. It's going to be a busy time over the next few weeks. And remember, May the 1st is just day one. And equally, there's other topics you'd like me to cover in these updates. Just let me know. Pop a comment below. I'll be more than happy to do these a bit more regularly. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.